Hey there, Drawyah here, and welcome to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Today, taking flights in the Airbus A320neo in American Airlines colours, on a flight from here in Dallas Fort Worth over to Denver. So it's about an hour and 45 of flight time today. Hopefully all goes to plan. The A320 being a little bit shaky right now in Microsoft Flight Sim, but I have given the A32NX workaround a go, in hopes that, well, it works. If it doesn't, then, well, good luck to us. But it should be an alright flight today. If all goes to plan, we should get ourselves on a very decent trip along this all new America updates. So let's jump to cockpit, pray the aircraft, and get ourselves ready to flight today. So first things first, overhead panel. Batteries on. Set you to nav, little power sets. Turn up the temperatures. So like I say, we have made use of the workarounds. The aircraft. Basically you save it, reload it, but again, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, so there's only one real way to find out today. So let's set the aircraft up, so arm the spoilers, arm the strobes, set smoking automatic, cruise flight active, engine bleeds, that's a new one actually, engine bleeds you should start on, but okay, I'll turn those on. Because again, automatically using the Airbus, so actually no. Sorry, yeah, that's fine. AP bleed turn on manually, engine bleeds you do automatically. Cool, so that's all set, so that looks good. Down to the MCDU, let's start programming this flight. Turn the brightness. FMC. Initialization. Right, let's plug this in. So, Kilo Delta Foxtrot Whiskey. Kilo Delta Foxtrot Whiskey, that's Fort Worth. To Caden, Kilo Delta Echo November. Plug it in. All looks good. Flight number today is American Airlines, so it's AA2235. Course next is 25. We're cruising altitude at flight level 360. Fuel truck's not loading in today, so we're just going to use the menu up here. We require 7470 pounds of fuel. So not too much on the airplane, I must admit. Not much at all. 15-16%. We'll carry the rest in the centre, just for the sake of the centre tank being full for the APU. Right, so basically that's enough fuel for flight today. Not a very heavy load, I must admit, for an hour and 45 minutes. I'm fairly sure this is in pounds. Should we confirm that 2 seconds? I haven't actually need to put it in kilos. Kilos in pounds. 16,460. It's definitely going to be correct stat then. 16,000 is quite a bit for this aeroplane, especially such short routes. But we'll do it anyway. Cool. So that's all set up. Looks good. Next step is to go to the iris sensation. On reference, God, I can't talk today, can I? Don't know why I'm being so off today. So, iris initialization. Next page, let's go over to zero fuel weights. The zero fuel weight is 51.1. Center of gravity is 22.9. We've got block fuel on board, 8.220. So 8.22, that's fine. That looks good. Right, let's load up PACX. And let's start the passenger boarding process for our flight today. So, Dallas Fort Worth to Denver, American 2235, 36,000 feet, 1 hour 45 minutes of cruising. 30, well, time to take off is going to be 1:45, so I'd put that at 15, 16. We'll put it at 10:02, so 21 minutes to departure. A320neo, 161 people on board, so I have a few empty seats, but relatively full load today. So 161 sets. We do have Wi-Fi, we don't have entertainment, we have got boarding music from American Airlines. We have got a safety briefing from American Airlines. We do get snacks, we do get a meal service, and with that, let's start boarding. Right, putting my flight plan for today. Not a massive flight plan, we've only got 2 waypoints to put in, so that'll take us a few seconds. Starting off with Papa November Hotel. Plug that in. It's going to be this one, followed by Halen. Plug that in. Going to be that one. Cool. Insert that. Flight plan complete. Let's greet the passengers and then let's go through the rest of our startup process. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to American Airlines flights 2235 from here in Dallas Fort Worth to Denver. Flight time today is 1 hour and 45 minutes, and so far so good. Clear skies without an entire hour of our journey. Any questions, speak to Captain Crew today. Otherwise, if you sit back, relax, enjoy Fly American today. So, generic public address, that's fine. Flight directors on and on. We'll turn up the brightness of all the panels as well. Cool, that's good. IRS will align in 2 minutes, which is fine. We'll park on our departure, which will be runway 17 right on the Worth for departure. So departing to the northwest today. Worth takes us down to Papa November Hotel, and then from Halen we'll be going on departure. Be a via point, which will be you. Thank you very much. Insert that. That looks fine to me. So like I say, hopefully it'll go to plan today. We have tried the workaround just to save the flight, reload it in cold and dark, but to be fair with this sim, who knows what works. I love Microsoft Flight Sim, it's a fantastic platform. It just needs that time to mature. It's still early days of this thing. Give it time, give us over time to work on it, and I'm sure things will get better in no time. Alright, fuel pump set. We'll turn on the seatbelt signs. The aircraft has refueled now. Seatbelt signs on. And that is pretty much being ready to go now, actually. We'll set our performance up for takeoff, so we'll be using flaps 1. Flex temp is 72. Set our takeoff speed, so 141. That's quite a heavy, quite fast takeoff, I must admit. Transition 18,000. Okay, so it's quite a fast takeoff today, which isn't, well, it's not too bad, I guess. It means get better acceleration in the air. Right, so that's all set, that's all set, that's all set. Aircraft now pretty much ready to go. We'll set our predictive wind shear to automatic. We'll set the ATC to automatic and TCAS to TARA. So send and receive. That's all fine. We'll change to 12.8 once we push back, so we can make use of the ground over here. Otherwise, while we wait for the airplane to board, let's have a look at Dallas Fort Worth, because I know this is one of the airports that actually got upgraded as parts of the America updates. And I do know that Guide Simulations, the people behind Florence, Berlin, Tegel, and Vienna, also had a massive part in some of these airports as well. So it's certainly worth having a look at this. Have a look at some of the, well, have a look at some of the detail that this scenery brings. And I must say, I mean, this looks fantastic. I mean, look at the motor, well, the freeways, the highways that go in and out of this, different terminals. Just level of detail in this scenery is fantastic. And this is part of the default sim now. I mean, it's free to download for us part of the America updates, so head over to the marketplace for that. Got a few railway tracks up here as well. Presumably that's inter-terminal transits. But seriously, it's just it's amazing. It really is. Fair play to Asobo for putting this together. I mean, even the details of the cars parked up. Maybe a little bit frame rate heavy at times, but well, when you look at it, it's worth it. Also, I must admit, I am going to order another 16 gigs of RAM at some point, probably tonight. So I have noticed that my sim's starting to slow down a little bit now, especially streaming. And so in order to make it all viable, I'm going to upgrade from 16 gigs of RAM to 32 gigs, which should make things a little bit more streamlined if all goes to plan.
So that way you can be receiving. You are free to use your portable electronic devices during the boarding process. We ask that larger electronic devices are
So look at the passenger list, see if there's any names that we recognise. If any Jareds are on board, this one's the important one. Nope. Relatively, relatively normal passengers today. No Jareds, no names we should be Keeping that for fair enough. Right, so passengers are boarding. We've set up the aircraft now. RS line, so let's turn on the APU. So start that. Quick check the flight plan, although I'm fairly sure with 2 waypoints, can't mess up that badly, could we? So sticking into flight plan mode. Step, step, step. Yeah, perfect. No problems with that at all. Right, we'll zoom back into U. We'll set up the altimeter and autopilot now. So dot meta kilo delta foxtrot whiskey. Let's have a look. So it's 020 50 knot wind, so quite heavy wind at the moment. 020, which makes 17 will be over a crosswind today. 10 miles visibility, few at 500, broken at 25,000, 17 degrees centigrade, dew point 6. That's almost at 3006, and a few remarks for later. So, QNH, that's 3006. Altitude, cruising at level 360. Rate of 3,500. And a speed of 250 below 10,000. Perfect. APU starting up, good to see. We'll lock cockpit door. Pretty much sit here now until the aircraft is ready to go. Is that NVIDIA? Yes, we are running the running an NVIDIA right now, 1660 graphics card, 16 gigs of RAM, 97 6700 processor. Autopilot is messed up, but like I said, I've given the workaround a go today, so hopefully if goes to plan, we shall give that a go. Worst case scenario, there's no A320 this weekend. I'll try and do a few more long haul flights in the 74 and 787, presuming they work. How is your autopilot in the 74 and 78? Are they broken as well, or is it just the A320 that's a bit suffering at the moment? So far so good.
We are ready to go when you are.
Ah, perfect. Cabin is ready, so APU is available, I believe. Yes, it is. APU bleed set. Give it a few seconds to power through its systems. External power off. Any second now, the cabin crew will be doing their quick welcome on boards. Otherwise, we're pretty much now ready to push and start. Quick final check of systems. So APU's all, sorry, autopilot sets. Set, that's all set, that's all set, that's all set. Right, so what we're going to do now is set the engines to ignition mode. We're going to call the pushback tug over. And let's get ready now to depart from gates. Departing from 17 right, nears go right, left request to the left.
And welcome aboard flight 2235 with service to Denver. Our flight time will be roughly 1 hour and 45 minutes.
Jet bridge moves out of the way. Right, let's do this.
Cabin crew secure doors for departure.
So I'm going to wait for the tug to put pressure on nose. There we go. Parking brake released. Engine 1 starts. Won't be too long until we request to turn to the left, so we'll probably signal it in now. In fact, there's a taxiway just there that leads out, so we'll probably use that to just get out of Dallas quite quickly. So let's quickly request steer to the left. We'll set you back to 122.8 for Unicom.
We know you have lots of choices, so thank
There's
you for
the
choosing
safety
American.
demo for American
We're happy
Airlines.
to be your airline. Now, if you'll just follow along with me, we'll be on our way.
wait for the available tag to be up on the
Welcome
engine.
aboard. Before we depart, here are some important safety instructions. First things first, let's buckle those belts.
Available 1,
Insert
engine
the
2,
metal
start.
end into the buckle and pull the strap to tight. To open, simply lift on the top of the
Pushing
buckle.
back ends here.
And remember, seatbelt should be fastened whenever you're seated.
Since engine
Just
one's
in
active,
case of
hydraulics
unexpected
active as well.
turbulence.
Let's
To get us on our way, make sure your
back
seat is
controls
up,
check.
all electronic devices
set
are
this down
put
to
away,
low,
and
so it's a
your
little bit
tray table is stowed.
behind the frame rate
If you
on
have a
the
carry-on,
displays,
push it all the
but
way under the
again,
seat in front of you.
once it
If it
upgrades
won't
to
fit,
16
please
RAM,
look in the
should be
overhead
alright.
bin.
So, ailerons and
If you have a
elevator
handheld
check,
device,
rudder
please
check,
switch it to
speed
airplane
brakes
mode now.
check.
You'll find our full electronic device
We'll
policy
set
in the
these
back of your
spoilers to
American bike.
arm. In a couple of
US law
moments, we'll load the
prohibits
flaps down to
smoking,
number
including
1.
electronic cigarettes, at
That's
any
the engines
time.
page.
Tampering with, disabling, or destroying smoke detectors in the laboratories may result in a fine. U.S. law requires all to comply with lighted and posted signs and crew member
Cool.
instructions. Now let's review the safety card. Please pay close attention, and before you know it, we'll be off. All exits on this airplane
Right,
are clearly
engine
marked.
2
Take a
available.
moment to
We
locate the
will
nearest
shut
one.
down the
Keep in
APU.
mind, it may be behind you.
Taxi lights, flaps down 1, taxi lights set.
All exits have evacuation slides to use
Beacon
in
lights
emergency.
should have come on actually as well
When
before we started
directed
pushback.
swiftly, jump onto the
Okay.
slide and move away from the airplane.
Engine ignition off. Parking brake released.
Some slides may also be used as a raft, except those
And
over
let's
the
get
wings.
going.
You'll find the exact location on your safety card. This aircraft is designed with escape lighting on or near the floor. A sign will indicate you have reached your exit. In the event will appear. Follow the lights until you've reached your exit. Leave all carry-ons behind. Just head quickly and safely to the nearest exit.
2 foot the best we
It
can
may
work
be
anyways.
behind you.
So like I say, the fix that FlyByWire have advertised about the Autopilot is that what you do is you spawn the aircraft cold and dark, you then save the flight, reload it. Now, I've not tried this yet, and so I'm flying with faith that FlyByWire know what they're talking about. I'm sure they do, But it's a case that, for some people, they say it works, for others, they say that it's still not quite there yet, so gonna give it a go today. Worst thing that happens is that the flight doesn't quite make it, but well, we'll just have to wait and see what happens, I guess. Set the brakes to max. Do a quick takeoff config check, so call all, takeoff config set, cabin check, just did that. And with that, the pre-takeoff checklist is now complete. We'll put in the throttle black slides, so going a little bit faster on the taxi side.
Now, your seat cushion may be used as a flotation device. Just remove the lower cushion and put your arms through the straps
Another
on the
7 minutes
opposite
expected
side.
departure, which is fine.
The crew will now be coming around to do a
That will be
final
pretty much
cabin
on
check.
time today, which is all
After
good to see.
takeoff, we'll be back with more information. And if you need anything, don't hesitate to ask. As always,
No
we're
ET right
here to
now,
keep
we're
your
using
flight
IVAO,
safe.
but IVAO
That's
sets
great,
to
and it's what
Unicom,
we're
122.8
going for.
so far. Right, safety briefing's now complete. What's left for me to do is to announce, well, cabin seats to take off when we get to that stage. Give me that van on the left there, you can use it to side, so that's fine. Gonna make a right over here. Well, I can see where runway 27 right is, that runway right in front of us. We're going to use this. Entry over here. Cabin crew, seats for departure please, seats for departure. Turn on the takeoff lights. Set the chrono to count. I use a Thrustmaster HOTAS Warthog. Right, well, let's see what happens. Throttle up, 50%. 1 and 2 are stable. to flex. Put a little bit down to pressure in, just to stop the aircraft from prematurely rotating. 100 knots. V1. Rotate. Positive right, gear up. Pitch climb 10 degrees. Very shortly make a right hand turn. Flaps up. We have the aircraft in front of us now. There's the runway. We clear to the right. Let's see if we can make ourselves to Dallas. Throttle back to climb. Make a round turn and get ourselves onto an intercept with a flight plan. And then turn your autopilot on, and then basically see what happens next. That's the key bit of this flight today. Will autopilot work? Will autopilot send us out into oblivion? How's your weekend been? It's barely started yet, Bryson Gamer. It's only Friday night. Give us a chance. Now, we'll see what happens. Basically, depending on what happens to this flight, depends on which aircraft we fly during the weekend. There's a couple of short flights I want to do, but if that's not going to work, try and do a 7.8 and 7.4 stream. Right, let's give it a go. So, sets. Oh, that works. Perfect. So, let's carry on climbing. Let's make our way now down to Dallas. I'm quite surprised that worked, actually. Autopilot seems to be on my side today. I'm not ignoring you, Dave. I'm flying. I don't need to be rude. I mean, all I'm looking at your chat right now is just you spamming word letters. So, the frame rate's going a bit shaky right now. Like I said, I'm going to upgrade to 32 gigs of RAM, which should fix any stuttering issues in the future. But you know what, I'm going to mute Dave because it's just annoying now. But so far, so good. Spoilers alarms, yes. Quickly remove those. Soon to pass through 10,000 feet. And there we have it. We've made it. We have made it. Regardless of all these autopilot issues, it looks like the save and reload trick does actually work for this. So I'm definitely going to be using that again in the future. The sound does come from the A320nX mod, yes it does. So climbing out now, very shortly we pass through 10,000 feet. Gee, this frame rate really isn't on my side today. Do a lot of tweaking with this sim. I love it, but some of these updates recently have slowed things down a bit, I must admit. Any info about 738? No idea, I'm afraid. 737 is not my thing. This is the dev version of the A320nX. This is the dev version. Basically, if you're on their Discord server, go to their known bugs section, and basically just tells you when you burn up as cold and dark, save the aircraft, load it, and it works just fine. 10,000 feet, standing lights come off.
We do offer complimentary in-flight TV thanks to our partners. Connect to the Wi-Fi to find out more information.
Let's carry on climbing. Above 10,000, we'll increase the speed now to Mach 0.6. I don't live in America, Adam. We don't celebrate Thanksgiving over here. This is just a normal weekend for me. No, so far so good. Seems like we'll be doing a rather decent flight today. Right, so we've now left Dallas Fort Worth. I believe that's Dallas Love Field just below us now. Skies looking absolutely pristine at the moment. This is lifetime live weather, so far on our side today. And yeah, it should be more than fine. Passing through 14,000 now. I'm going to quickly do one more thing, because again, I've been tweaking these settings all last night just to kind of get that frame rate issue going. This glass cockpit refresh rate, I'm going to set to medium again. I set it to medium before, but there's just, I don't know. As for the settings, the issue is, at the moment for me, is my memory. My RAM is way up there. My CPU also a little bit on the hot side, but my RAM is what's kind of... well, it's my bottleneck at the moment. And so, to be fair, my GPU's anything that's actually working rather normal. It's got an upgrade for that, 38 in a way, but CPU RAM, two things that I need to get sorted out soon. Pass through 15,000 now. Soon we'll switch over to standard altimeter, 18,000 here in the US. Apart from a slightly stuttery aircraft, so far so good, touch wood. Definitely touching wood for this one. FlyLive Studio does show 50-minute landing rates. If you're not streaming, no it doesn't, Christian. The overlay FlyLive Studio only appears when you're streaming. That's the whole point of it. It's tooled by streamers for streaming. It does come with some stats for non-stream people through this one over here, but it's not really intended for non-streamers at all. Right, past 18,000 now, stands out into sets. And right now, well, I can pretty much now sit back, relax, enjoy the rest of the flight, because I've done all the work I have to do now until top of descents. We'll set the speed now to Mach 0.78. That'll be our cruising speed for today. 1 hour and 45 minutes to fly. Should be alright. Less CPU at 32 gigs RAM. Fair enough. So like I say, I'm going to order that right now. I'll tell you what, because it's Black Friday today, so it means we can probably get a decent kit for cheap. Where's my bank card? Oh, it's in my bag. Probably take like a lifetime to get here because everyone's ordering this stuff today. But what can you say? It's always worth it. A couple of things actually on the flight tonight, so I'm going to have a browse around tonight of all this stuff. First of all, make sure I've got enough money on my card for the payments. What is this? Drop how much does a RAM could go for about? It's about 100 these days for 32 gigs. Go for Corsair, that should do us quite nicely. So I'll probably go for that. Stick you there. Okay, now transfer to an account. Send. Order now 32 gigs of RAM. Order RAM kits. Probably from Corsair. Right. So, yes, basically when you load up an aircraft in the sim, literally go to save it as whatever you want, load, and then go straight into a flight. And that's how you do the workaround basically. Save and load, works an absolute charm. Right, 32 gigabytes RAM kit. DDR4. There we go, is it this one? I was looking at. Oh, that's a bit costly, is it? It's Corsair, which expects 30. So I did some price on this earlier. It's like £98. As it's gone. 125. 108, but that's not nice. The aircraft banks left and right. Fixed for that, basically. Overhead panel, SCC1, turn that off, and the aircraft flies stable again. So basically, the aircraft banking left and right is an issue to do with the it's an issue to do with the elevators kind of overcorrecting the aircraft. And so if you disable the elevators from kind of correcting itself, SCC1 the overhead panel, it then fixes the banking issue, as you can see. Ooh, that's not good. Okay, that's that then. It's £94, but it's not really the nicest kit in the world. Right, well, my plan to buy RAM may have just failed on me. Because when I was eyeing for a bit, it seems to have been bought out. It does matter because 36 MHz is quicker than 36,000 MHz, or 3,600 is quicker than 3,200. And so you get a little bit of extra speed with the faster kits. So pass through 28,000 now for level 280. Still climbing out. We'll reduce the rate of climb since the aircraft has slowed down a little bit, so going down to 1,500. Make sure that speed is set. Whoops. No, it's been, well, it seems, like I say, it's flying alright at the moment, the aircraft's flying absolutely alright. Why not open climb? What do you mean by open climb, Keith? Welcome, Beta, how you doing? Wait 38 to arrive, love you so much. I mean, like I say, the 1660 right now graphics I'm using seems to be doing this alright, no problems whatsoever. It's just the RAM I'm really struggling with at the moment. There's an aircraft descending into that Fort Worth, American 258. Very nice. Of course, again, we'll keep an eye out on the ATC chatter just in case there is any aircraft on our way, but it looks like we're actually clear skies at the moment. Oh boy, let's see what I'm doing about this RAM kit then. There was one I looked at last, well, it looks even today at work. Obviously I've gone and waited a bit too long, and as a result I've now missed it. 130, it's not cheap. I've used this company before, they're alright. It's a quicker delivery day and it's cheaper. No worries if Jay, you take care. Yes, I use a 1660 graphics card. Not doing too bad, Kiwi. Not doing too bad at all. How are you doing? Let's have a look at it. I don't like buying from Amazon, but the convenience, I'm afraid, makes them second to none. 32GB RAM kits. Yeah, completely sold. Even Amazon's sold out. That's crazy. I know it seems inside up. I'm glad you. I'm glad you're learning. Twitch, yes I do. Twitch.tv/Drawyah. Right, what's the difference between this and this? Ah, hang on, 216 gigs, which is the same. DDR4 3600, 3200 meg. AMD Ryzen memory kits. Huh, this actually looks better. The fact it's called itself an AMD Ryzen memory kit. I don't have that. Oops, a bit of turbulence there. No, this aircraft's slowing down. Wow, actually we've lost our speed entirely. Let's reduce that. So I see the line come off as well. Should have done that off ages ago. That's better now. Almost a cruise. So it should be alright. One left in stock. HyperX Fury. I mean, the one I'm looking. Well, this is what you just sent me. The one I'm looking at right now is this. Not this one. Sorry, this is gone. This. It's faster kit, 3600 over 3200. But the one I'm looking at right now is the AMD Ryzen kit memory kit. Is this specifically only for AMD Ryzen? Or could I fit it on my Intel right now? 'Cause I'm going to upgrade soon, probably 2. Ah, okay, no, that looks like a lie. Okay, fair enough. Let's have another look. You can get the RGB Corsair 32 for sake price. I mean, I was looking at this. This was going for 98, but it now is going for at least 130. So keeping a very close eye on that. We'll see. I'll do a bit of research after the stream ends, see what price I can get. Have I self-loaded cargo? No, I haven't. But looking at 2 add-ons, self-loaded cargo and PACX, I am more of a PACX person. Rising RAM means that it's... thank you, Cosmo, for subscribing to Twitch. Much appreciated. Thank you very much. You're a star. Ryzen RAM means that it's validated by AMD, guaranteed to work. But it normally doesn't work. Okay, interesting. As departure, stay off so good Boeing. 77% autopilot problems, did a stop in the middle of the flight, AC% 3500 with mountains way higher. Oh, that's just ATC telling you to send. I don't usually fly ATC, so that won't be a problem for me. Like I said, we're almost at cruise now, 35,000, 1,000 feet to go. Let's see how this all goes. Aircraft paintings, so liveries come as part of the Liveries Mega Pack. And so it's free to download off the Mega Pack Discord server. Worth using if you're into your like realistic airlines and liveries. Yes, it was Adam. Good eye there. It's a weekend now, so I can do what I want. I mean, like I say, there's also this option. But Team Group T-Force, they're alright. Corsair though, generally they're more kind of... It's what you want to be getting. Like I say, the autopilot fix works for some people, doesn't work for others. There's a 50-50 chance of it working for you. And it's just, again, random luck if it works or not. There's no real way to balance that. Right, so now at cruise, aircraft's up to speed. Although it keeps speeding up itself for some reason. 8. Let's carry on. Microsoft Flight Attendants A320, CRJ 744, 748, A321, A313neo. I know the default A330, well, the modded A330, but the Neo, not yet. Overclockers UK, good shout. Hopefully it'll get here before my GPU does. 387 on the queue. Sorry, 337. 337.
Starting our in-flight service. We'll be serving complimentary drinks and snacks. Premium drinks are available for a small charge.
Also, actually, you're wrong.
Only accept credit
It's not a Strongbow, Adam. It's little brand Woodgate. Little family here. Right, I'm looking for a 32GB RAM kit. Has to be 2x16, as I've only got 2 RAM slots at the moment. 2x16. Flight time today, 1 hour and 45 minutes. 1 hour 45 today from Dallas to Denver. Otherwise, like I say, so far so good. Cabin now serving the snacks and drinks. And time to satisfaction. Everybody looking rather happy at the moment. Short one, how far? So the maximum range, well, the maximum flight time that you could do in an A320, you could get about 7 hours flight out of it. The A321, especially the XLR, gets you a lot more range. But no, 7-8 hours generally you can get a decent flight in. Let's have a look at what overclockers have. 2 8 gigs, 16 gigs. DDR4 megahertz. You can't really do that, can you? So the workaround does work, yes. Like I say, just load up the aircraft conduct, save it, load it, and you're good to go. Liveries, I don't know about Roger Dinian, although best check the Discord server for them, see what they say. But I can imagine they do. I can imagine they do. budget it for this month? The question. Ah, perfect. There we go. So I'll redeem that. Continue shopping. Go to baskets. Now it's at 120, I believe. 3K delivery. Resume and no needs. So, hey, that's not free delivery then. Lied to me. So it should be a 10, not 5. This company confuses me, it really does. I think that's how they work, they confuse everyone, and then they just go and buy anyway. Right, so one of those, that's fine, that's fine. Make sure there's nothing else cheaper, that would be better. Answer is no. What's this? Hang on. Oh, this is better. Hang on. 2 megahertz That's 4th of December. Get rid of you then, that's 10 quid I've just saved. I do apologise, I'm buying RAM right now. I want to make sure I'm buying the right stuff. Posting on Discord, there we go, got another search option. There's some overclockers. 119, what's the number? 36 megahertz though, 3600s. It's a good price you got there. 216, 32 gigs. That's my best price so far, and it's the highest spec stuff. Good spot there. Where is that? Who was that? Captain Josh. Good spot that. Much appreciated. Actually, I'm probably going to go for that one. Okay, let me grab the link onto desktop. Cheers for that. Also means I can avoid buying from Amazon, which is always a good idea as well. So this is what I'm looking at right now. If anybody knows any alternatives that may even be better, I mean, 120, now for 160. So 32 gig, 216, DDR4, which is good. 36, 100 megahertz. How long download time is about 5 hours for me downloading Microsoft Flight Sim, about 5 hours. Yeah, I'm probably going to go for this actually, because that looks so much better than what I was looking at. Let's make sure I'm logged into overclockers. That's pretty good for RAM. yeah, I mean, if everyone in the chat's happy with it as well, then forever hold your peace. So add to baskets. Go this year, works for. Okay, so if everyone's saying this is good, then this is good. Oh, thanks for that. You guys are stars. I mean, not only is this faster than the $3,200 on Amazon, it's also quicker as well. So it's quicker and cheaper. So definitely not worth lollygagging around that. 8 quid delivery. Yeah, I can do 8 quid. Go on then. Voucher, that's fine. Don't need protection. I'm going to damage it, I don't think. Cool. Right, we've ordered it. Card's been ordered. Oh, cheers for that, guys. And yes, we're running on an SSD. So we've ordered. So we've got the RAM on the way. We've got the graphics card on the way. Perfect. Ordered. Right. Cheers for that. You guys again, thank you. You are fantastic. So we've got a graphics card, we've got the RAM sorted. Next thing is a CPU and a motherboard. I'm going to wait for the motherboard to come out. I'm going to wait for the AMD 4000 series stuff. And basically once those are out, make a decision around that. Are you buying a new PC or just RAM? So I'm going to buy, like I say, I buy the parts, my brother's actually one who assembles them, but build your own. Never buy pre-built because the pricing is going to go way off. A lot of that's going to be labour, which is way too much than it should be. So you just buy all the parts separately, buy a case, put it all together, and see what you come up with. I ordered a 3080. A 3080 also overclockers. Let's have a look. Overclockers. My accounts. So I went for an Asus card. Did I? What did I go for? Hang on. Was it Asus? It was between Asus and... Where are you? And MSI. That's it. I went with the MSI. So it was the MSI 3080 Ventus 3X. So I didn't go for the top tier Ventus. Sorry, I didn't go for the top tier MSI. But I went for the second tier, still gaming ready. Basically, it's the one that doesn't have overclocking built in, so I can still overclock manually myself using MSI Afterburner. Basically, it's just a case of a cheaper card that doesn't come with the overclocking pre-built. I can just overclock myself, and it still has the same effect. So, if all goes to plan, the silicon on that would be rather good as well. And it should be a more than spectacular card. The 3080 cost me... How much did it cost me in the end? Well, actually wasn't as much as I thought it would have been. Cheaper than I thought it was. $3080 cost me £720. 720. 591 plus shipping plus tax 720, which is, well, it's kind of going to use for like the next 10 years or so. Therefore, you can't really fuss about that price. Given that 1660 cost me about 200 when I bought that. Bought it brand new actually. So yeah, 700 for GPU. I've now spent 100 for the RAM, so that's 800 I've spent total. So this you've sent me a Samsung SSD 2 terabytes. Interesting. I mean, in terms of storage, I should be alright at the moment, but you know, 500 gigs internal SSD. That's not a bad price. That $53, 40 quid. I'll keep an eye on that. If I'm ever in the need of a new SSD, then certainly have a look. But no, Microsoft Flight Sim runs on an SD for me right now, not the hard drive. Not even think about that. Anyways, I've ordered the card now. Let's focus on the flights a little bit, shall we? Wouldn't i5's 10666 yep, you should be able to run that fine, Blue Panda. No problem at all. CPU bottleneck, yes. So the CPU is my next upgrades, and so I'm still deciding if I go Intel or AMD for the CPU. I mean, the upside is by having more RAM, it should allow Sim to run a lot smoother than I'm doing at the moment. Because at the moment, like I say, my CPU is getting high, but it's not the worst aspects of this. My RAM, especially during like the 98-99%, especially flying through London. London's not so great these days. So RAM will smooth that out a bit. Then we'll go for the CPU. Then, well, probably wait for the Korean motherboard at the same time actually, and just build it from there as well. Yeah, I'm thinking AMD as well. I mean, graphics card, I'm always an Intel graphics card. Graphics card, Intel's drivers, software, everything. For GPUs, Intel are my number ones. Sorry, not Intel, NVIDIA. What am I talking about? NVIDIA. NVIDIA's my number one for graphics card. Again, Intel, AMD. I think AMD are doing better these days for CPUs, processors. So if you look at that, motherboard probably push for AMD as well. And then just string it all together in a case, basically. And yes, DirectX 12, that's going to do a massive, massive change for the sim. I know that on the roadmap, they talks about pushing that soon. And so, definitely on the way. The X12, definitely on the way. Sure, PACX is fun. I like PACX. I like it. It's a very simple add-on. It adds extra depth of simulations to the flights. So you've got cabin crew, you've got your passengers. It adds to it. It adds to it. Flight time is 1 hour and 45, Joe. 1 hour 45. Yeah, so around this case, going to help with the stutters and frame rate, which at the moment is my big problem. The stuttering, especially if you look at my departure routes of Dallas, stuttering like crazy. And so I did a bit of benchmarking yesterday. My RAM completely out of it. So RAM set up now, should be alright. How do you switch from exterior to cockpit view? End. Just press the End key on the keyboards, and that lets you switch from internal to external. The End key. How to change cache as well? I didn't run cache. I have turned all that off. Rolling cache, pre-downloaded sceneries. I've got none of that stuff. Everything's downloaded straight away. Having large rolling cache. Does it help cache? Interesting. I'll look into that. Reuse textures, load quicker, that sort of stuff. Interesting. Okay. Again, something for me to go and investigate. You have an i7-600K, 2070, 30 gigs still runs like rubbish. CPU bottleneck's crazy right now. So this is the same as up. I mean, your CPU is... Well, I've got an i7-6700, but not the case, and so I can't overclock my CPU. But, I mean, I don't run it terribly. I don't run it great, but I don't run Microsoft Flight Sim terribly. I can still run this to a more than average kind of extent. So, we'll see. Yeah, so OBS should have a lot of CPU and RAM during the recording process, absolutely. Absolutely. Problem is though, with OBS, I don't have an alternative for it. I mean, as much as I... Ooh, there's no about that. As much as I wouldn't mind moving away from OBS, it's one, by far the best of all the streaming tools, and two, well, the alternatives, they give you so much customizability in terms of like overlays and that kind of fancy stuff. And so, I could use NVIDIA Shadow Play, but the downside of Shadow Play is that you don't get all this overlays and stuff, so we'll have to see. Time will tell, basically. Time will tell. I haven't tried NVIDIA Broadcast Suite yet because it requires an RTX card. I don't have an RTX card and therefore I can't access it. I've seen it, but I can't use it, so I have to wait a bit. Hello, Drawyah. Thank you very much, Flying Dutchman. Thank you very much. The bank later told you to check her balance, they pushed her over. Oh, okay. Very funny. So we're at cruise. Passengers are happy. Weather's looking spectacular at the moment. Just keep on going. So I fly with a Thrustmaster HOTAS Warthog stick and throttle, and well, that's my main go-to bit of hardware. I love the HOTAS Warthog, it's a fantastic bit of kit, very sturdy. Being a full metal build, it just feels great on the hand, and so yeah, I do like it. It's a fantastic bit of kit, Warthog, highly recommended. Not cheap, but highly recommended. But I got quite fortunate in mine, it cost me $270 for both of them. These days, you'll have to get both for 900, so definitely worth the investment as well. Ooh, they're open up there, flashing lights. Quite a busy airspace today, I must admit. Quite a few aeroplanes out and about today. Let's set up our arrival routing now, since we're pretty much getting ready to start our descents. 16 right by the next one arrival. Right, 16 right. Next one. No wires, insert that. So we'll look at our performance page to the arrival. And let's plug this in for so dots, letter, Denver. So it's 1403 knots, 10 visibility, clear skies, 03. 04. 102. Clear skies at the moment, absolutely nothing for us to worry about. Altimeter 3018. Temperature is 3 degrees centigrade. Magnitude of winds is 1403. Transition altitude 18,000 in America. And set on decision height at 640. Cool. Right, that's that plugged in. Don't need you anymore. Let's carry on going. Fly the Alpha, throttle with Xbox controller. I can imagine flying with Xbox controller is not too greasy. I mean, I've done it. I've tried it. Mainly for the GA stuff. I'm not going to try the jetliners with Xbox. I'd say Xbox better than keyboard. Keyboard flying is near impossible. I'm sorry, but if you're flying with keyboards, then massive respects to you, because I could never do that. Do you like model planes? I've got a few models. I've got a few models up on my shelf. Rhino 73, Laudamotion 320. I've got a Japanese, quite a rare Japanese cat actually, for the MD80. Jetstar 717, quote unquote. It's actually an MD80, they just called 717. Air Berlin 738, British Airways 732, a couple of smaller obscure aircraft, Snow 340 up there as well. Bit of a mix, I've also got a few Airfix and Revel kits I've not even put together yet, so maybe one day, the IS frequency is not plugged in yet, so let me quickly grab the IS frequency for Denver. For 16 right, was it? Yes. Right, Denver 16 right. It should be 111.9. And course 173. Should be correct, unless you guys have a different answer for me, but according to the charts, for ISF close 16 right, 119.173. Oh, yeah, coming to this runway, very nice. You changed the course in VOR? I didn't. I went into the landing frequency. Oh, sorry, the course. Oh, yeah, because I tried it into that one. Didn't accept it, so... I don't know. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. The system's in sim right now, still a bit half-baked, and so it's just a case of give it time. I'm sure one day someone will update it, get it all going, but when that time will be, we'll have to wait and see. Make sure running everything as administrator, Zakari. Run as administrator, it should work fine. Yeah, that's one thing as well, Ian. Because when you load it, it changes the weather settings and all that. So, I mean, it's better than flying S without the autopilot, but we'll see what happens in the next update. Pardon me. Update 9 will be the one that fixes all the autopilot issues, so update 9 is the one to keep an eye out for. That's one where they say they're going to do like all the autopilot systems, you're going to have like the VNavs, you're going to have proper MCDFs and calculations and all that. Update 9 will be the jet aircraft updates. This was updates 5 or 6, I believe, so sort of a few more of them away. Don't know if it's 747, 737. Probably the 747, but 737 is still very much close to my heart. And yes, we're using the latest dev version right now. Welcome, Kieran, how you doing? Welcome to the channel, welcome to the chats. Update 5, of course, so 4 more updates, 4 more months, and then we get our jet aircrafts. Jet aircraft coming in March. That's right, March. Isn't Airbus broke? I mean, you decide for yourself, Zanis. Is this airplane broken right now to you? It's laggy, but it's not broken. So if you do the workaround of saving and loading, that seems to do it for most people. FlyByWire team deserve to be worshipped. They are good. They are good at what they do. Really can't fault those guys. I mean, looking at how the aircraft compares to defaults, even compared to version 1, if you go back to my video on the FlyByWire when I first did that, that was version 1 of the airplane, so it's come a long, long way since then. Again, a lot of credit's deserved. A lot of credit is deserved. Ion vector to the visual. We're going to use the glide slope to guide us down, but we will switch to manual from 1000 because the weather right now is pristine for that. Button stop the swaying. Overhead panel. SAC1. So if I turn that on again, in a few seconds, the aircraft starts to wobble. There you go. So turning off the elevator control stops the aircraft from wobbling. In reality, you should never turn the switch off unless there's a major issue with the aeroplane, but in this case, stops it from wobbling, no problem at all. So I got into flights a couple of weeks ago, watched your videos, helps a lot. No worries, Kieran. No worries at all. Glad you've, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Glad you've found a bit. So after this stream, I'm probably going to start planning the weekend flights. We'll try and do a long haul, not crazy long haul, 11 hours like last time. It's a bit shorter, but we'll definitely plan something. That's for sure. Welcome Surfer, how you doing? Welcome to the channel, welcome to the chat. So flex is the D rate of thrust on takeoff. Basically, you set your flex temp to kind of limits your engine's power output during takeoff. So the more throttle, if you take off on toga, so full throttle, full power, the engines vibrate more, they wear out, and therefore it's more expensive, and you have to change the engines more often. So what you do is you derate the throttle. So you set your engines to flex, and when you're at flex, instead of 100% throttle, it's maybe like 95, 94, 93%, depending on your input, the MCDU. And so while you're not at full throttle, you're still high enough to gain speed, but ultimately it's just less wear on the aircraft and therefore much cheaper in terms of maintenance down the line. Boeing aircraft don't do this, it's just an Airbus feature, flex temp. Boeing aircraft do not do this, although, unfortunately, the A320 calculator, the A320 Flex Calculator webpro.cz is broken, it's gone, it's been taken down. So unfortunately, I'm going to try and look for a different tool to all of the flex temps, because that's dead now. Gone. It's a shame, but we'll have to see. Boeing's have D rates, but they do it in a very different way to Airbus aircraft. Airbus is a lot more of a streamlined process using the MCDU. Boeing's a bit more of a process behind that. ILS approach to Descartes. ILS approach, manual thrust, manual handling in at 1000. Yes, this is the update to Microsoft Flight Sim yesterday. We're running the America update, so you got to enjoy the high quality Dallas Fort Worth on departure. So far, so good. Performance has been worse, I'm afraid. Performance has been a step down compared to the last version, but that's because the America pack does add a lot more detail to the sim, so we'll have to wait and see what happens next. But definitely an update is needed to kind of get the aircraft or the sim a bit more stable with the frame rates. I've ordered some more RAM though, so hopefully that will improve things going forwards. But we'll see how it goes. This is using the latest dev version. Dreamliner. This is the latest dev version of the A32NX. Finalizing PC should fix all the Autopilot features. So, like I say, Luca, update 9 will fix the issues regarding the jetliners. So update 9, they're going to do the small tweaks here and there with all the main updates, but they have said that update 9 will be a jetliner update, where it will include proper VNAV calculations, autopilot fixes, fuel calculations and all that. It will come. Update 9 will be the main one for that. It's just a case of again, just waiting, because Microsoft Flight Sim is still early days, still early in development. As it matures, it will get better. Especially once the third-party stuff arrives as well, things will very much start to improve. But see how it goes. See how it goes. There's the 787XE project, AP. The 787XE project is the 787 upgrades. I use it. It's alright. Although still very much early days for that as well. The FlyByWire team is by far the biggest of all the freeware default upgrade teams. The Sim 74 and the 787XE, they exist, but again, early days, not quite as big, but they're getting there. Like I know stuff sometimes, John streams, don't know anything about... No worries, Carl. I mean, at the end of the day, everyone's got to start somewhere. 10 years ago, 5 years ago even, I was in the same kind of situation where I knew basically nothing. And even now, there's a lot I don't know about flight simming and real-world aviation rules. But basically, the more you talk, the more you pretend to know about it. Fake it till you make it. If you guys believe that I know everything, then obviously I'm doing the right thing. But trust me, even I've got a lot that I don't know about, a lot more that I need to kind of work on, learn, and push myself with that as well. Impacts, you can customize sounds in your add-on matches. Yes, you can, Josh. Download in .wav formats. You can customize sounds, you can download announcements and add them to the add-on. Love videos, thank you, Thomas. Thank you very much. Is quite still broken? Yes, it is, Kyle, but there is a fix for it, or at least a workaround where you save your flight, load it, and it seems to work alright, as it did in this case. Completely fast flights in very nice, Kieran. We don't use that on this channel. Long story, I'm not going to say it again. We use IVAO on this channel. Welcome, Cloud Kit PvP. How you doing? Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the chats. Welcome, Lukai. How you doing? Lukai. How you doing? Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the chats. How you doing today? Why do I like streaming? I mean, at the end of the day, I like simming. I like flight sim, I like train sim, I like all this kind of stuff. And so, I can just sit here and fly my own for about an hour or 2 hours, no problem. Look, the flashing light up there, another aeroplane. But, I'd say, with these kind of flights, I mean, I could sit here and fly for myself, it'd be boring, nothing happens, what's the point? With add-ons like PACX, you can at least get like some passenger station going, so you get a bit more of like a lifelike scenario going. With streaming, share it with other people. I mean, I enjoy flying, you guys seem to enjoy watching, so I hope you enjoy watching. And so, yeah, it's just a case of tag you guys along with me as well. Because at least now, instead of just sitting here for 2 hours staring at a blank screen, and now sitting here for 2 hours talking to people on chats, I do apologise, I'm a little bit drunk right now. I could sit here for 2 hours talking to you guys, and it's just something to fill the time, get things going. So, yeah, works out rather well. Is one you're using more professional? Not at all, Kieran. This is the A32NX dev version, latest version, and works rather well. Use career mode on air. I mean, I use PACX, and PACX does come with its own integrated career mode, so it's certainly worth looking at some point in the future for sure. Is your pilot working? Mine works fine. Last time you got a good price for RAM, thanks. Oh yes, and also got a good price and a decent get of RAM, thanks to you guys in chat. So that's another benefit. If I was sitting here on my own, I'd order RAM and actually be second best to what you guys have. Brace. Where even is this? This is 4%. I want to spice something up. I'd use this stuff, but this stuff being 42% would not end well. Settings. Go to my video. dedicated settings video, but once I upgrade my system, I do plan to do a proper settings update again. Can you repack scream? At some point I can do show, certainly worth looking at, for sure. Do you have anything to explain? I've got Explain installed. It was my go-to sim before Microsoft Flight Sim. There will be a reason for me to go back soon. There is a reason for me to go back soon, that's for sure. Welcome Jared, how are you doing? Welcome to the channel, welcome to the chat, how are you? Airline, American Airlines today. American colours. Actually, probably start a descent soon now because we're getting quite close to Denver. Got a little bit of time left, but not too much time. Welcome, So Cole. Welcome to channel, welcome to chats. Not doing too bad, Pierre. Not doing too bad. How about you? Surprising players game right now without raging. He gave Microsoft Flight Sim a break since they're figure out what they're doing. I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of this channel is based around workarounds and hooky fixes that just about makes everything work. So that's what I do basically. Break things until they work. That's the story of my life. Has anyone tried to kill me? It did try to for yesterday, but since yesterday I basically learned the workarounds of this one, and now working alright. Going to explain soon. Like I say, I've got reason to go use explain soon. Tolis project on the way, so we'll definitely have a look at that. 787 Autopilot. I've not tried 787 Autopilot. Actually, I have. The 787 fix is to delete a random waypoint, and then 787 works. So Takeoff, switch to LNAV mode, MCDU, or FMS, sorry, delete a waypoint, execute it, run it twice, then it works no problem. Again, a bit of a workaround, but eventually works. Why so much fix it? So no, basically, like I say, so update 9 will be the jet aircraft update, or the jetliner upgrade when they fix all of that. And so if we're doing one update a month, then it's March. I mean, it might speed it up, it might delay it a little bit, we'll see. But March-ish is when we are going to possibly see it. We follow you in France, very good pilot. Thank you, Pierre, much appreciated. Busy last few weeks, been watching when you could. No worries, tried the update. Like I say, I mean, it's an update. America looks good. Could do with a bit of a frame rate love, but other than that, it works. That's the main thing, it works. How do you fix the autopilot problem? So like I say, if you go to the menu, when you load up cold and dark, head to escape, save, reload, and then fly. Reloading fixes everything. Are you excited about the World Update in the UK? I've not heard about a World Update UK. I've not heard about that. Is there one coming? I don't know. Truthful answer to you. Right, let's have a good descent, shall we? So we need to head down to 7,000 for Jetson. That's 7,000 to get ourselves used to the glide slope. So actually we're only sitting 29,000 feet. This one's quite high to the airport, Denver, so should be alright. We'll do maybe a slightly later descent. Pardon me. It can go back 185, Kurt, with the right winds. I mean, right now we're flying on a, well, 2-knot headwind, so the winds right now are very light. Can be done, just need the right winds for it. Oh, is it okay? Interesting. I'll look into that then. If it's the UK update next, then certainly going to be quite interesting. That. We'll see. We'll see. It'll be good, I'm sure. Right. So, about 5 minutes now to descent. 5 minutes to go. Landed it for the first time on the other day. Awfully, but it's a start. No, as Jared, I could say, the more you practice, the better you eventually get at it. Practice, practice, practice. Be a pro in no time. Before we descend, I'm actually going to quickly run to the toilet 2 seconds. BBIB. Cat. Right, let's carry on. Descent, isn't it? Yes. So we're going to head down to 7,000 now. Descent. South Mach 0.75. 10,000 at a rate of 1,800. 2,000 feet per minute. Cool. Let's do this. Your engines do not turn off. That's an interesting one, Carlos. I've not had that problem myself. Engine seems to be working all right. Try Control Shift E. Control Shift E is the key command to shut off engines. Try that. This climb descent broken. I mean, I just use vertical speed for descents. The automated stuff, I'm not sure. I've never trusted it, basically, so I've never tried it. Oh yes, also the question earlier on. Yeah, so basically when you load the aircraft, fix the autopilot, load the aircraft, head to the menu, save, loads, and then carry on as normal. So it's an extra step to loading the sim, but save and load, everything works treats. Thank you. Thank you, Hakai, there for the 1 Australian. Much appreciated. Thank you very much. Okay. I mean, the alternative to shut the engines off, head to the fuel and starve at a fuel. That's the cheaty way of shutting down the engines, starving them. A reverse key combination is F2. Bartholomew. Push and hold F2, hold it, and the aircraft will go into reverse. Hey there, Hakai. Hey there, how you doing? Hey there, Drawyah here. Welcome to Microsoft Flight Sim. So, side into Denver, you can see a few hills in the background. A few kind of foothills to the mountains up ahead. Otherwise, so far so good. Aircraft's performing well. Let's bring it in. Yes, I did, Sasan. I have used that workaround. It works perfect. Absolutely perfect. Passing through 30,000 now, flight level 300. Sub 30, welcome. You took the Baron from Dallas Fort Worth the other day in a thunderstorm. Very good, very nice, Jared. You should play Game Pass Marketplace as an upgrade to premium for $30. Might get the upgrade and no use Game Pass. I mean, Game Pass, most people treat Game Pass like a demo. I mean, unless you're quite happy with the standard version and use Game Pass for other games, especially that £1, $1 starting month, a lot of people use it like a demo. But, pardon me, yeah. Seems, I don't know, I don't use Game Pass myself. I had it for a month or two. Never really used it. Got the game straight out, and, yeah, took it on from there. The workaround, save and reload, save and reload. Should try Varna approaching Bulgaria. I mean, Bulgaria is a whole country. There's more than... Which airport specifically? Yeah, Bulgaria, runway 27. No airport though. Let's carry on. So passing through 27 now. The airport probably will come into view quite quickly. Gonna appear down the south side of the airport, overfly it, loop around, come back in again. Although we could always do a manual vector if that works out better for us. Ah, Varna Airport, okay. Oscillation bug, you can fix it by turning off the elevator control. Actually, we're descending now, so probably turn it on again, the elevators. But if you turn off the elevators, it works fine. And yes, we are using the dev build for the A320nX. We are using dev build, yes. Best place to buy a HOTAS kit? I'm not sure, I'm afraid, Max. Most places are sold out at the moment for pretty much everything, so I'm afraid I couldn't really give you one set place to buy yourself a HOTAS. A320neo today. Flying the A320neo. Oh yeah, so I've got a blanket right now because it's just so cold in London. Blanket, I've got like a thermal layer on. It's so cold. So cold. Welcome Fabi, how you doing? Welcome to the channel, welcome to the chats. Any flights to Dubai soon? We'll see about Dubai. We'll see. Move up north, you'll never survive. You say that. Last Christmas I spent 2 weeks in Finland. -9 degrees, didn't feel that bad. The issue here is that the air is so humid. It may be only -1, but you can feel that because not only is it cold, -1, but the humidity in the air freezes as well, and so that is just very cold. I'm doing a lot of flights. Not tonight, Kieran. Not tonight. I'm gonna do like all the weekend flight planning and all that. Schedule some live streams, and then we'll see. I'll try and do maybe 2 flights tomorrow. No, we'll do maybe 2 flights on Sunday. Actually, last Sunday. So actually, we have to probably do a group. We hadn't did a group flight last month. So I think on Sunday we'll do a group flight. Sunday will be a group flight. Sunday morning we'll do a flight. Maybe Sunday afternoon before the group flight as well, we'll do something. So if I do long haul, we'll probably do it tomorrow. Haven't decided the route yet, haven't decided the aircraft, but it'll probably be in 747, as it has been now a couple of weeks since I last do 74, so probably that's. But not quite as long as 10 hours. 10 hours is way too much, I will say. You see that, Sky Aviator? I'm using dev mode right now, and it's working fine, the A320. Would I ever go hang gliding? I don't know. I wouldn't do skydiving unless I was forced to. Hang gliding? Mixed. Very mixed. Maybe one day. I'll turn see about signs back on now. We're going to reduce our rate of descent now to 1,000 feet per minute. So then, and we're past 18,000 now, so our altimeter 17 was it? 3018. What is that in normal figures? 1022, fair enough. Yeah, there's an A321 in the area, keep an eye out for. Otherwise, it should be alright. Denver is a high altitude airport, so the ground does look much closer than it really is, because, well, the ground is that much closer, so I'll definitely keep an eye out for that. I'm using the freeware version of FlyByWire PC. I'm using the free version. Joystick, yes I do, flying instruments. I do use a joystick. You should know this. When you're in peak districts near Carlton, you hang gliding a lot, fascinates you. Interesting. I've done gliding before. I've done GA, I've done gliding once. Did that back in March actually. Went up to Veshy Bridge for that. It's an experience flying a powerless aircraft. It really is an experience. Quite cheap as well actually. Quite cheap as well. How do you start descending? So descending it's not too difficult to calculate. Basically, if you descend at 2,000 feet per minute at 250 knots, you'll lose 30,000 feet in 80 nautical miles. And so you can kind of use that as a roundabout calculation when you should start your descent, depending on what your cruising is, what your final will be. Alternatively, your flight's level times 3. So I cruise at 360. So 36 times 3 is 369, 6, 12, 18. So 108 miles. So 36 times 3, 108. And therefore 108 miles until you need to descend. Yes, if it's up to date. My resolution is 1080p. 1080. And yes, this is the FlyByWire mod. You can tell with the updated sounds. So actually, I think we started the descent way too early today. Way too early. Still got 60 miles to go. Already at 15,000. Don't drink and fly, kids. Don't drink and fly. Why do you put constraints on? Because I don't trust them. Do not trust them yet. We are flying into Flight Beam Denver, so we have got a payware scenery over in Denver today. Nice, thank you again to FlyBeam for providing that for me. And so definitely something to look at and enjoy as well, as you make other sense. Ooh, I know what I'm doing tomorrow now actually. Yeah, we'll have to plan around that. Okay. We'll see. I've got a few things to plan out. Actually, it could work out quite nicely. 7-4 and more. We'll see. I've got a few flights to plan out. Do you download your airports from any provider or use default ones? If I use any airports, it'll either be payware sceneries provided by developers or paid for myself, or some airports, one or two of them I've got upgraded from FlightSim.2. For example, Gatwick's a freeware airport that looks fantastic in the sim. Why are you always in a mood? What do you mean by that, Robstar? What do you mean? Got a beer? It's not a beer, it's a cider today. It's just cider. Microsoft control of camera, yes. I use an Xbox controller for camera movements. Going for the extra flight bag, yes. EFB would be very nice to put onto the tablet holder right now. Can't afford a PC, due to getting an Xbox. I'd say so. I mean, Xbox is a console that's going to be built, it's going to be built around it, so give it time. It should work well on console, yes, once it gets set. Do you SimBrief flight plan? Yes, I do, Kieran. Flight plan on SimBrief. Yes, Denver has got long runways. I mean, Dallas, our departure airport, is the second biggest airport in America. Dallas, our arrival airport, is the biggest. So actually, we're flying between the two biggest airports in the country today. Yes, there's a new Manchester airport coming. Well, it came out today actually. Today was the release date. So tomorrow we will be flying to Manchester, yes. And do keep an ear out for my Manchester video, because there should be one extra benefit for that one as well. Yes, SimBrief does have top of descent planning. Yes, it does. At some point we'll do Caribbean for sure. At some point we will do. I don't have any flight Tampa sceneries off the top of my head. Not off the top of my head, but I've seen their work. They do some really good stuff. They do have some really good stuff going for sure. Ah, there's the airport. Not too far from Denver actually. Just gonna fly overhead, loop around, come back into land. On the landing guidance. Welcome to the how you doing? Oh, welcome back. How you doing, man? What's the update of Canadian mods? What are you guys up to now? Thanks for knowing, Sharma. Actually, how are Canadian mods doing the latest update today? How wacky are your cockpits right now? How wacky is the autopilots? A lot of stuff to work on with this latest update in terms of jet aircrafts. Maybe I say, give it time, it'll get there. I think that aircraft going to land just to our left. How many flights have you done the workaround? I mean, this is my first proper flight of the workaround being implemented. But we'll see how it all goes. Thanks tutorials. Actually Master CJ4 and 747. Very nice, Aussie. Thank you very much. Glad you enjoyed the watch. Mouse keyboard. I use a standard Dell mouse from like 2008. Keyboard, some cheap Chinese gaming keyboard that, I don't know, it works. Not much, but we are doing A330 model, yes. Model done. Sounds good. Sounds good. So another plan is to get out in a couple of weeks, isn't it? Like a week or two away now, so definitely keep an eye out on the A330. Probably just have a bit more further afield once that gets out. Thank you, Yuri there, for the €2. Little piece of extra memory. Cheers, man. Much appreciated. Thank you very much. Oh, at this rate, I might even recover the cost of the RAM by the end of the stream. Like I say, no, thank you guys. You are all stars. Just how much support you've shown this channel. Absolute stars. I wouldn't be here without you lot. That's a fact. Not be here without you lot. Can we now start using the flaps since we are very close to landing now. 40-ish miles to go, including the ring around. Like I say, I have got one X-Plane stream anticipated. There is one thing coming out soon, which I'm going to look into. And so X-Plane, I've got plans for. I have got plans for. There we are. Welcome to Denver. So we're going to overfly the airports, loop around, and come in to land on the right. And again, you can see the micro stuttering as well. That's the reason why I'm upgrading my RAM at the moment. The micro stuttering is just something that is being caused by the memory there, the RAM. If I can get a bit of work off the RAM, that should smooth things up a little bit. There's little micro stutters that I am working on. Right, reduce to 30 knots. And very shortly, get ready for the first stage of flaps. How to get liveries. Liveries are available part of the Liveries Mega Pack. Free download off of the Mega Pack Discord server on their website. Well worth using. Well worth using. It's a fantastic bit of fantastic mod, that's for sure. Free download gives you a bit more of more life into your flight simming world. The engine sounds is part of the FlyByWire, the A32NX, as well as a cockpit upgrade. Also now has sounds that come with it. Rudder pedals, no I don't. I use an export controller for my rudder. That's just my APU warning. That's fine. Just thinking, was that beeping? But no, that's because my... Well, we're not quite there on the approach yet, so... Once you come around, that should activate alright. Reduce down to 200 knots now. Increase our rate of descent slightly. And basically, slow the airplane down, bring it in for descents. Set the brakes to low, so you have long runways here at Denver. Engines are very big and long wings. I mean, with the CFM Leap 1As, I mean that's how they're designed. They're big engines, taking a lot of air, outputs a lot of air as well. Just overall, very efficient engines to fly with. Soon to pass through 10,000, so very slow landing lights for that. There's no names on board, no one famous, no Jared on board this flight in the PACX list, so should be alright in that regard. How do you activate use approach mode? So if you've got your radios set for the airport frequency, 9 out of 10, when you set the approach up, does that automatically. Basically on the right hand side you have the localizer, so turn that on to get your heading aligned, and the approach mode then follows you down the glide slope. And so you've got the localizer and approach mode switches just on the autopilot panel to your right. Spiders are retracted now. So we're going to set them ready for landing. We're on flaps 2, so still continuing our approach in. Landing speed is going to be at, well, I say approach mode now. 126 approach, 121 touchdown. It's quite a slow approaching today, 126. So we'll slow the airplane down once we get to that stage. Passing through 9,000 shortly, so another 2,000 feet to go until we do reach our altitude for approach. See again, just those minor stutters, minor frame rate drops. Need to work on that. Do need to work on that. I use a Thrustmaster HOTAS Warthog, Lucas. HOTAS Warthog. You can do Alex, but only with auto rudder turned on as part of the aids that Sim gives you. But generally, you'll use a separate. Well, actually, well, no, it's all rudder in there. So rudder or nose tiller, generally a separate system, but you can have an auto rudder to fix that. In the UK, it's now 11:15. 11:15 in the evening. So I'll probably go to bed very soon after this. This is Payware. This is the Flightbeam Denver. Who's left now to our left? Who are you? There's one there, that's a field. Fair enough. To be fair, in America, everything's like an airport from above. Vast, vast country this. Right, so starting the right hand turn now. Loop us around, back into Denver, bring it into land. Ooh, 2,900 to ground already. Again, shows you how low you are to the ground. 5,000 feet. The ground level here is at Denver. 5,000 ASL. And level off at 7,000. Then bring it in the rest of the way. Can see the sun slowly start to set over the mountains now. How to save flights, literally in the menu, escape, load and save. Or press the spacebar to do that. Right, so, I'll say gear down at 7.5 miles as always. Cabin we can check. Flaps full, set that later. This is the dev version. This is the dev version. Fact is, Liam, my settings are quite... well, my settings down to about medium right now. On medium, is still lagging, because again, it's not so much the scenery quality at the moment. It's more down to the rendering, which is down to the RAM. RAM and CPU, which is causing us the problems. So we're going to also go through next. If I was using any other aircraft, they're quite FPS friendly. The more systems it gets, the heavier on the FPS it gets. So again, it's just a case of work with the sim, do all the fixes, do all the upgrades, you'll get there. Upgrade systems if we need to. DX12 certainly fix it. Frame rate right now, getting about, well, you can see that, 16, 17. Not as high as it should be, but not impossible. Flaps 3. Landing lights come on at 10,000 feet for landing lights, on and off. Yeah, so 32 gigs of RAM helps. And so today, on stream, I bought 32 gigs of RAM. So that'll get here soon enough until everything arrives. So we're going to turn the localizer now. Cabin crew, seats for landing please, seats for landing. You should open a GoFundMe for PC. I'm sure people would love content to chip in. I mean, people already do with donations. I mean, a lot. My new PC at the moment, which I'm currently planning stages of, bought a graphics card, bought the RAM now. A lot of that has been funded by donations and people's just, yeah, people doing stuff. It's fantastic, really. ATC, I use IVAO. Hector, I use IVAO. But like I say, I've got a lot of people to thank with this, how much you've been able to kind of like provide for this channel, provide for me in terms of system upgrades and all that. It's all getting there, and you guys thank for it. Good luck to Rodrigo, their first star. Very nice. How do you feel playing outside? I mean, you just use the end key to switch to external views. End or inserts. Inserts for drone cam. Does my job rely from good aviation? No, it does not. Not sure yet, Devon. Again, I've only just ordered the RAM today, but a lot of people have said RAM helps. So I've ordered it in the hopes that RAM helps. But we'll find out soon enough. Not yet, Ralph. GPU comes in a couple of weeks, but definitely on the way. VRAM. 4 gigs of VRAM this. 3080 I believe comes with something like 8 or 16, much better. Gear down, not yet, Goncalo. Gear doesn't come out for another couple of minutes. Well, not a minute or so until gear comes down. 7 miles from runway gear drop. 7 miles. Yeah, so the Microsoft Flight Simulator is rather unoptimised, but as time goes on, as more updates arrive, as the aircraft's sims are improved, it will come. It will all come in time. Reduce speed 126 knots. Give it some time to mature, give it time to update. Once the X12 arrives, Microsoft Flight Sim, that will certainly improve things. It all comes with time. That's 4. Down to 126 knots, which is our approach speed for today. So, at the moment, our altimeter is 3019 due to air pressure outside. And so, with local air pressure, altitude 7,000, but you're seeing 6,729 because that's the altitude at sea level. So, different pressures, different altitudes. Not on the glide slope yet. We're still below glide slope. Just holding the localizer. Gear down. Welcome, Flight Sim Race Sim. Right, here we go. Almost there. Force brakes ready armed. Almost there. Approach mode activated. Right. So now, following the glide slope down, misapproach altitude set. Let's do this. Thank you, Xander's there for £1. Much appreciated. Thank you very much. So gear down, 3 greens, brakes set, flaps set, cabin secure. Pre-landing. Landing clearance we got. Landing lights active. Pre-landing checks complete. At 1000, we'll switch off the autopilot and fly the rest of the way, and bring the aircraft in for a landing.
$1,000.
1000. Autopilot deactivates. A little bit below at the moment, so small adjustments to get us up a little bit. There we go, 2 reds, 2 whites.
100 above.
100 above.
Minimum.
Minimums. Because the magic of Denver, there is nothing, absolutely nothing for miles around.
500. 400. 300.
A little bit of a crosswind, only 1 or 2 knots.
200. 100.
Committed, we are committed.
50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
A little bit of floats.
5.
Reverse thrust sets. A bit of a bounce there. $80 knots. 60 knots. Reverse thrust cuts. We'll go and make use of the next exit point to the left. Bit soft that, bit too
Ladies
soft.
and gentlemen, welcome to Denver. The local time is 4:14 p.m. and it's currently about 40 degrees Fahrenheit. You can now use your mobile devices. Please remain seated until the aircraft has come to a complete stop and the seatbelt sign is turned off.
So we'll cross the other runway now, and then make our way over to the gates. But hey, overall, not a bad flight that I don't think. Autopilot seems to be on our side, which always benefits, so certainly something to enjoy. We'll start the APU up, clear all of the systems. 3 minutes early, so also made good timing today. And yeah, that was well, overall decent flights. It's a long time to the gates, you are right, Robbie. All the way over there for terminals. And go over to the main building of American Airlines. Probably have the sun set on us by the time we can get to gates. Quick check of the runway, make sure everything is clear. Left is clear. Right is clear. Across the runway, probably stay down as well, 33 knots. Can't wait for a smooth experience. Can't wait for 32 gigs of RAM. Next flight will be tomorrow, so tonight I'm going to do a few plans and all that to figure out what my next racings will be. Tomorrow I'll get 2 flights done for sure, one in the morning, one in the evening. Sunday we'll be able to do a long haul flight in the morning, and then a group flight in the evening. So we missed out on last month's, and so this month we're definitely going to do our group flight together. Not sure whether it will be exactly, although with the America update out, I'll definitely do something out in America. So do stay tuned for that. There's an aircraft there now entering the runway as soon as it departs. Hope they have a safe flight. So right now I use a 1660. I'm going to be upgrading to a 3080. I'm very bumpy on the taxiway today. But we're getting there. Almost to the gates. Right now it's a mix of medium, high and ultra. But a lot of high, a lot of medium at the moment. I have turned things down because the frame rate flaps up due to frame rate slowdown. But again, things could always be reduced if needed. I mean, look at the scenery right now. It looks fantastic, this level of detail on the ground. Absolutely fantastic. Just a shame it's so costly with the frame rates. Your door is open, is it? Why has it done that? Why's the door open? Who opened? That's not supposed to happen, to say the least. That's a security concern, also a health and safety concern right there. How? How do you do that? Shift D doesn't control the doors, I don't believe. That is strange. Okay, well, we're just gonna have to taxi the door open the rest of the way. Go to the doors page, 2 seconds. Yeah, cabin doors. I mean, the slides are still activated. The slides that should have launched the emergency slides there, because they haven't cross-checked deactivated slides yet, which is again something that should have. Yeah, Shift D doesn't do anything. Okay, well, we're just taxiing the doors open then. I guess that's one way to dismount the aeroplane quicker. Not quite sure how or why that's done that. Or where. Fresh air. Errant key binding. I didn't think there was a key binding for doors open, is there? If there is, someone tell me, because that'd be very useful to know, but I don't think there is a key binding for doors. I know slides don't deploy, because it's not modeled in the sim, but I'm saying the slides are still active right now, so slides should have deployed with that door open. Very strange. Very, very strange. Welcome to Microsoft Flight Sim. Blame the autopilot. To be fair, I'd much rather the door opening randomly on taxi than autopilot flipping me around, as some people are reporting, so... Jared really left the lavatory, needs to air out the cabin. I mean, that's one viable explanation for this. Jared's left some nasty smells behind. Gee, this taxiway getting bumpier and bumpier. Well, we're almost there. This looks like an off-road rally course, this, seriously. Welcome to the year of 2020. I love this sim. It's got quirks, it's got problems, but I do adore it. It's a long taxi, he thinks you should be at gate right now. Taxiways like Canadian roads. So we're going to be pushing into the left, I believe. The right is... Actually, no, here's right for American Airlines. Going to the main terminal here. Right, here we go. stand Alpha 33. And what are you doing there? Looking at the lights of that pickup truck. Parking brake sets, APU bleed sets, engines off, seatbelt signs off. Ah, it's doing the logbook. I've not seen that logbook in ages. That's Fort Worth to Denver. There we go. 1 hour 42 minutes. Daytime, that's fine. One takeoff, one landing. 86 hours already. 6 hours and 9. 93 total. That's some time, that. Fair play, Drawyah. Right, well, let's turn off the taxi lights. Off the beacons. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Denver. Local time right now is 7. Local temperature outside is roughly 70 degrees Fahrenheit. We thank you for flying with American Airlines today, and we hope to have a safe on journey. And we also hope to see you again in the very near future. Cabin crew, disarm doors and cross-check. Call the jet bridge over. Public address. I mean, doors already. Oh, doors closed again, just so they can reopen it. So I don't know. This flight sim. I adore it. It needs work, but I adore it. Ooh, this would be quite a nice little scene, I guess, for the outro, I guess. Let's go stick ourselves inside the terminals. This is Flightbeam Denver. It's a pay-aware scenery provided by Flightbeam. Thank you very much to them. I mean, it looks great. It's got the proper interiors and everything, so they put a lot of work into getting this looking right. And I must say, it's a fantastic scenery, this. Very, very nicely put together. So massive shout out to Flightbeam for their fantastic work on this. You can have a look at that for a flight sim screenshot. Perfect. We'll expedite deboarding now, so passenger can leave the aeroplane. Have a look at that. So they're all deboarding the aeroplane, that looks good. Ground power, I believe, is now available, so we can switch to U. APU off. Let's end the flights. So, American 2235, A320 from Dallas Fort Worth to Denver, 1 hour 46. Departure was 2150, departure 2144, planned arrival 23, there's an aircraft landing over there, 2335, landed 2332, 161 people on board, 93 satisfaction, 85 for the touchdown rate of 2 hours, 1 minute block time. Soft landing, safe friends the airline, recommend you at work, and then a few more drinks. So, if you want to look into these records or look into this flight plan in a bit more detail, you can do so via this link here. Just dropping into chat now. There we go. And yeah, I think that really brings us now to the end of our flight today. So like I say, I'm now going to start planning out the weekend's flights, so I shall get rid of that now. Otherwise, also, the A320 is working. So again, the workaround is just a case of load in, save the flight, load the flight, fly, and then it all works, no problem. Otherwise, from here, in an hour, a sunsetting Denver, I wish you guys a fantastic weekend. You take care of yourselves, and I shall see you again in the very near future. Take care, and goodbye.